Hello. Uh-oh, hold on. Hello. Welcome to another edition of Friday Night Live. I am back. Last week I was at an event, but this week I am back. Hello. If you are meeting me for the very first time, welcome. My name is Tracie, and here on my channel, I talk about all things business, wellness, and my life here in Mexico, the beautiful San Miguel de Allende. If you want more of this kind of content and enjoy being here, and if any of that speaks to you, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And hit the like button because, of course, we want to trigger the YouTube algorithm in our favor. But welcome tonight for edition of Friday Night Live. And hey, girl, hey, I just saw you. What's up? Um, Tonight, I am going to be talking about I am turning 50. So this is my birthday month. And I'm not one of those who celebrates all month, but I will be going over some of the things that I think are key lessons that I have learned that if I would have known them earlier in life, who knows where I would have been or what I would have done. But it also like adds to like the characteristics of who I am. So this is you guys coming along with me into my new decade and a reflection on the past decades of my life. My 40s have been amazing. I love my 40s. My 40s were so instrumental in growth, in business, in relationship, um, in ownership, in womanhood. My 40s have been just like truly amazing. So I'm excited about what is to come. I do believe that my best is yet to come, but I also am not going to lie and say I am going to miss my 40s. My 40s have just been truly a blessing. Not to say I didn't have any valleys in my 40s, but my valleys came with such beautiful learning lessons that the peaks that followed the valleys were more than I could have ever expected. So, yay. But before we get started, I always have to remember to make sure that I go over the housekeeping. When I say housekeeping, the things that are coming up. So, I am doing my leader luncheon tomorrow. It is a virtual experience for women in business. And you could be anywhere in the globe on the globe and join this particular session. I will say this. I was like, okay, I hope at least I had a certain number in my head about how many people I would wanted to show up. But I will say I have superseded that number by almost double. So if you are interested in joining the leader luncheon tomorrow, it is for women in business to come together to know who each other are, what you do, where you are, what you do, who you help, who you support, to plug yourself, to plug your business, to plug opportunities, collaborations, to network. And it's something that I am going to be offering quarterly. So if you miss tomorrow's, you have the opportunity to join the one within the next 3 months. I will be doing them once a quarter. So I'm excited about what we are going to do tomorrow. I'm excited about new faces that I'll be meeting because I would say almost half of the people that have signed up I've never met. So I'm excited about that. It is free, and I wanted to make it to where it is accessible to everyone. I want us to get out of I want to give more value. And I want people to understand the importance of giving value and putting yourself in spaces, especially since we are becoming such global individuals, meaning not all of us are located in the United States, but this gives us an opportunity to network with women from all over the globe. Because I know one of the sisters who signed up is in Spain. There's a few who are here in Mexico. And then, of course, there's several in the States that are coming. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It is tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And come camera ready because we are absolutely going to be turning the cameras on. That's how connections are made. We need to see faces. A lot of times people join in virtual spaces and won't have their cameras on, and I understand that. But this is not that. This is for opportunity for connection. So I'm really excited about that. The next thing is the Leader Wellness Retreat that is happening Valentine's Day week. It is February 9th through the 14th. The description is in the bio. It is a leadership wellness retreat for women to take a break, for women who have done it all, are doing it all, who are leading in their industries or leading in their households and just wanting an opportunity to come together, but also be poured into versus pouring onto other people. And I'm excited about it because being a woman who has always had her own business for her entire adult life, this is something that I always wish that I had, especially when I had, in my previous life, when I was running the company, it was like, I need somebody to pour into me because I'm always pouring into other people. And one of the things that I notice about me is I'm such a huge listener. I listen to what people have going on. And I think it just comes because I've worked with women my entire life. It comes from a place of women don't have the opportunity to talk about themselves much because we're always putting on a face for our our spouses, our families, our community, even society. So I have been privileged to be in so many spaces, work related with women who just needed to be heard. And so this is the opportunity to kind of lay everything at the door. And it is Valentine's Day week. It is a gift to self. It is a love note to self. It is something that will allow women to have quiet time. There's going to be yoga, there's going to be so many healing modalities. I don't want to get fully into it, but if you click the link in the description, the Leader Wellness Retreat, February 9th through the 14th is happening here in San Miguel de Allende. And then the following month, I will be in Oaxaca. That is my retreat with Michelle Wedderburn of Casa Elm. This is our second annual Black Blossom Retreat in Salchi, Oaxaca, off of the coast of Huatuco. It is so beautiful over there. It is probably my favorite part thus far of Mexico. I have been to many parts of this country, and I want to. Oaxaca has my heart. Oaxaca has my heart more than San Miguel de Allende. So if your girl pop up in Oaxaca, don't be surprised. Permanently. I don't know if Honey will let me though. But anyway, I digress. But it is March 16th through the 22nd. In both retreats, it is small. My retreat is capped at 10. Our retreat in Oaxaca is capped at 12 or 14. And the reason for the wanting to focus on more smaller spaces is because it gives us the ability to connect. We want quality over quantity, and it just gives us the opportunity to be in community and not feeling spread so thin. So for Oaxaca, this is the opportunity to do nothing on the beach, be served and catered to. Oh my God, we will have massages. We will have horseback riding. So that's happening in both places, in both retreats. We will also have healing ceremonies that are happening in Oaxaca. So I'm excited about Oaxaca. Again, it is my most favorite place here in Mexico. And Mexico has been absolutely good to me. And I can't wait to share that again. We had some women on who attended this year's retreat. If you missed that video, please go back and watch that video. And they talked about their experience with us the first time. And it was a general consensus. It was the gift that they didn't know they needed. The food was amazing, the ambiance, the connection, the environment. So if you missed that video, please go back and watch that video. Please make sure you say hello. I definitely, especially for my replay gang, because people do watch on the back end on the replay, please say hello. I will definitely say hello back. I want to shout you out. But today, I want to talk about the lessons that I have learned that I want to share with you guys. I am always in a space of learning, almost, I don't want to say to a detriment, but sometimes I have to make myself say, Tracie, that's enough for the day. Or Tracie, you can get to it tomorrow. Like, slow down. You don't have to consume everything at once. But what I have learned, especially thinking back and reflecting forward the things that mean the most to me. And one of the things, and I'm going to start it off with this, is slow mornings. You guys have heard me say time and time and time again how much my morning routine means everything to me. And it's pretty much the same. I wake up when my body says it's time to wake up. I don't ever use an alarm. I'm not one who has a problem waking up. Even when I know I have to be somewhere at a certain time, I'll never set an alarm. My body just wakes up. And so I do wake up to the tune of the sun, probably a little bit after, but slow mornings are everything to me. And I take about 2 hours every morning of silence and to myself. And if you are in the leader space, so in my inner circle community, we had a wonderful guest speaker on this past week, and she spoke about the savers method. And I had never heard of it, surprisingly, but the savers method for slow mornings. And I wrote it down, so I'm gonna read it to you guys. So the S stands for silence. In my mornings, I have to have at least 2 hours of silence. And the reason why is because it allows me to come into myself. It allows me to get centered before I have to show up to the world, whatever that looks like. So being in silence and valuing silence the way that I do, even if I'm like out or it's later in the day, it becomes too much. Sometimes I just need quiet. And it's okay, especially for those of us who share households, to take time for yourself. So honey knows, and this works well for us because she wakes up later than I do. And I wake up way early. I'm up at least sometimes even 4 hours before she gets up. So I've had my 2 hours given. So silence is number one. The next thing is affirmation. So for me, I move into at least a 20, sometimes a 30-minute meditation before I even get up, before I even put my feet to the floor. And in this meditation, not only am I giving thanks because I highly believe in living in a space of gratitude, because that is the way that we show the universe, creator, that we are absolutely grateful for what we have now. And that's when the floodgates begin to open, because it only makes more to be grateful for to come into your life. So affirmations are a part of that in my meditation. I do guided meditations and it works well for me. So about 20 to 30 minutes of affirmation. The next is visualization. So if you are one who meditates, visualization and affirmation is automatically a part of that process. Visualization, daydreaming, even during the daytime. I think in this society, it has taken the daydream away from us, especially as children. We were often caught daydreaming in class and we were told not to daydream. But in all actuality, if you are calling in a different level to your life or a different space or something into your life, you must daydream about that. So visualization is key because it's really about putting ourselves in spaces before it manifests in the physical sense. And in that, tapping into that emotion that it makes you feel, because it's really about putting yourself in that space before it shows up in the 3 dimension. And in the 3 dimension is always going to be the last to show up. Let me just say that. That's why gratitude is absolutely key. Moving in a space of gratitude is going to be key to calling in the life that you want. The next thing in the Savers method is exercise or movement. But exercise, and it doesn't have to be something that's rigorous, but it's something that wakes your body up, gets the blood flowing, lets your body know, like, hey, we're alive, like get into your body. For me, it's yoga. I didn't do my yoga practice this morning. That was because I didn't do my normal routine, but 3 to 4 days out of the week, I am doing yoga in the morning within my 2 hour period. The next is reading. So this is where I'll tend to listen to stuff. So I'll listen to books or something that I'm trying to learn in this period of my 2-hour morning routine. And so reading is a part of that savers method. And then finally scribing. So writing something down. Now this is the part that I'll do at nighttime. But scribing, doing something, just getting it out, whatever needs to get out of you or whatever you have to say. And I'm sitting at my desk, y'all, and I literally got 3 journals on my desk. So this one is my gratitude journal. This one, hey girl, hey, you know who you are. My girl gifted this to me. This is my grimoire. This is, I don't want to tell y'all what this is, but this is, let's just say this is my finance journal. Okay, this is what this is. So in the savers method, and I thought this was so brilliant when she shared it. So for people who don't necessarily know how to come into their morning, using the savers method would be absolutely a fantastic way of getting your morning routine going. And then also even adopting it in the evening. The evening time is, it's a part of that coming back into self, like reflecting on your day, giving thanks for what you experienced, good, bad, or indifferent, and just brain dumping out what you don't want to take with you into your sleep, because we want to make sure that you're getting rest. Which leads me to another thing about what I have learned is resting. Resting, whoo! I don't want to say I struggle with rest. I get probably on average about maybe 6 hours of sleep a night, maybe sometimes even 7. But sometimes that's broken. But it's more about deserving, knowing that I don't have to earn rest. So rest is key to your health, your healing, your well being, your mental clarity, just being still. And resting doesn't always mean sleeping. And also knowing that you don't have to, productivity doesn't equate, or busyness doesn't equate to productivity. I often find that I'm more clear, I'm more guided when I am still and I am rested, so I can hear the necessary downloads that I need to hear. So sometimes when I feel like I'm lost, I don't know which direction, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm trying to figure out this thing called life, like we all are. It's in the quiet moments that I have to make myself get still so I can hear and feel, tap into my intuitive guide where I need to go and what I need to do next. So, resting for those of us who are struggling, I know this is my I know, and not sending TikToks at midnight. When I tell you, I am notorious for sending my folks TikToks in the middle of the night, anytime between 12 and 3 p.m. I told y'all, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Oh, thank you, y'all. Grateful for sitting at your feet. I'm grateful you're here. But resting and just especially since leaving the United States. Let me say this: since we have lived outside of the United States now for 2 years, I can't believe it's been 2 years, but since we left Atlanta and here in Mexico for the last 2 years, I have the privilege of living a slower life, and that was by design. I am a firm believer in being the architect of my life, but getting that conditioning out of my head that I always have to be doing something to prove my worth. Like I look on TikTok in the mornings and it's the same people going live for every morning. And to me, that is just exhausting and it is not sustainable. And I don't want to run my business, nor do I run my business that way. I understand the importance of putting yourself out there and putting your business and brand out there. But when I tell you it is the same people on live pushing products and services to their audience, and they're growing their audience exponentially and absolutely growing their bank account, but they're working so hard. And in my 50-year-old now brain, I'm like, number one, I'm not working that hard. Number two, it's not sustainable, because I've been in business long enough to know what decisions you make now, they have to be sustainable long term. So if something changes in my life, or if I want to go somewhere, or if I'm not able to get online, will that same audience still be there? And I'm a firm believer about cultivating spaces and growing spaces organically that grow with you, versus like, yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. I cannot and I will not do that. I will not subscribe to that. So resting, coming into my morning slowly, knowing that I am deserving of rest, and not confusing productivity with busyness. Oftentimes, again, I say that my most clear direction comes from times when I have been still, or in the shower, or doing nothing. So making sure that your mind is clear enough. The next thing I have learned is food. Oh my God. Now, okay, for those of you guys who don't know, I have a culinary art degree, and I got it from Le Cordon Bleu in San Francisco. Child, when I tell you, so I know food. I know food well. And I went to learn food because I was working with women and catching babies, and I needed to understand the correlation between how food affects our bodies, but in a laboring way. So for people who are carrying human beings, and then needing to get through a marathon such as labor, what foods were the most sustainable for them during that time to get the desired outcome, which is a healthy birth, healthy baby. Okay. But at 50 years old, y'all, I mean, I'll be 50 in 2 weeks. The food just don't hit the same. And I am a food lover. And I believe every time that we eat, we need to make sure it's a party in our mouth, right? I do. I just think it just should be a party in our mouth. But it just doesn't hit the same. It's just things just don't move me like they used to move me. Um, like right now, I was telling Alan, I'm on my peanut fixation. She knows I'm addicted to these. It's a Mexican snack with their peanuts, but they have this coating around them that's so good. And when I tell you, I know the difference between the different brands and each, it's an addiction, but it too shall pass. And it's just not, I don't know. I said, food is just not hitting the same like it used to. I am really simple. I'm learning, or I'm coming into being a real simple girl when it comes to food. As long as I have like a chicken a week, meaning like I can roast a whole chicken and I can eat on it during the week. The first day it'd be chicken and a vegetable, or the next day it could go on a salad. One day I can take some other pieces and make chicken salad and eat it with crackers. And one of the things that I've learned is like I don't need a lot of variety in my daily diet anymore. We have been here in San Miguel for 2 years now, and honey and I don't go out. Like I love to go out to eat. I used to really love going out to eat, because one thing that culinary arts taught me is that it's really about the entire experience. And I really will not go to a restaurant if their rating is below a certain number. Like I'm looking at ratings. And what I'm noticing is like a lot of restaurants here in San Miguel are catered to tourism. And I just don't, and we were just talking about this today, but you'll go, you'll get dressed, you'll do all of the things, you'll show up, and maybe it's just not as good, or it's not as flavorful, or now you've gotten out of your house, you've spent your money. It's just all of the things. It's like I'm not working that hard anymore. I'm not working that hard. Intervention on Sunday. You got jokes. Buenas noches. So, yes, so food is just not hitting the same. However, I'm a firm believer about eating for sustainability, eating for life versus eating for enjoyment. So, the things that I love and to partake in, I want to make sure, like, how is this impacting my body? How is my system responding to it? And just if it ain't hitting the same, I'm not going to force myself to eat it. I am more simple when it comes to foods than I thought. And it's really shocking because I've been such a foodie my entire life. So, just doing that kind of assessment. The next thing is investments in financial literacy. Um, Investing and learning money the way that I don't talk about it often at all. And it's because it's just not my zone of genius. It's not my area of expertise. I really do it for personal growth. I do it for financial growth. I do it because I want to understand what's going on in the market, especially as it pertains to this political time that we're in and during this administration. So I follow a lot of finance and I read a lot about finances. And I have started learning finances in a different way that I'm extremely, like, when I tell you I'm excited about, like, I mean, I have this whole other life to me that I don't even discuss that I do. And it's just it's just something for me. But investing in financing, making sure that you are preparing for your future, investing in things that are long-term sustainable that you can pull from. I have been fortunate to be able to pull from investments and surprisingly, and it wasn't necessarily my intention, but I had it to pull from. So learning, getting in your financial literacy, and when I mean like financial literacy, understanding the market, knowing what's going on in the market, knowing what is moving where and how is key, especially during this administration. And what I know for a fact is what they tell the general public versus what's happening inside the finance market are going to be two totally different things. And if you're just listening to what media, major mainstream media that is run by Rupert with Murdoch and all of them, like all of these people who control the narrative, then you are doing yourself a disadvantage. You're doing yourself a disservice. Making sure that you are paying attention to the market and knowing what is going on in the finance world will change your life. So financial literacy through books, financial literacy through podcasts, getting into the investments, understanding the stock market and how to invest for short and long-term gain. So that is definitely something that I was, have learned personally, among my 50 years. I will be 50 on October 22nd. I am the last day of Libra season. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, and yesterday was Honey and I's anniversary. So it was our fourth wedding anniversary. We've been together 7 years. It was our fourth wedding anniversary. And it was so beautiful because it just rained here in San Miguel. And on our wedding day, our very last picture that we took in our wedding photos was in my gown and in her suit that she had on. There was a dark, stormy cloud like right above us, and that's one of my absolute favorite pictures. So the moment the photographer snapped that picture, then a huge storm broke out and we ran inside, and then I went and changed we went and changed our clothes and went to our reception. But it rained all day. We just had a cozy day, and I had nothing on my calendar on purpose. I obviously took the day off. So it was really, really sweet. Okay, I digress. Getting back what I have learned. The next thing is importance of community. The importance of community, how much you need each other. Whew, I wish I would have learned that. Hi, Daniel. um, I never knew how much I needed. Okay, let me take that back. I didn't understand the importance of community the way that I do now. When you live in the United States and you grow up in a Western society, especially Black and brown people, especially Black folks, they tell you to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, do everything by yourself. And they teach individualism. And moving abroad has shown me the need for community. I was telling my girl earlier today, I was like, I want a t-shirt that says, men need women, but women need each other, because amongst women, we lead, we create, we grow, we grow like exponentially when we're amongst each other. So getting in community with other women is going to be your key lifeline. And studies have actually shown that community is a part of longevity. Community is a part of longevity. So if you are looking to live a long life, get in community. If you are looking to live a long life, get in community with like-minded people and don't be the smartest person in the room. Get in community with women because you will continue to evolve and grow. Get in community. If nothing else you take away from this conversation, community is going to be key to just the fulfillment in your life, but also again, your health, your wellness, your mental growth, the things that you learn, your emotional growth, the depths of your conversation are going to change and broaden. You always want to be amongst those who can support you, cheer you on, be there, good, bad, or indifferent, people that you can sit in silence with, that you don't have to always entertain, that you can listen to, they can listen to you, and there's no jealousy or pit against one another. And it's so funny because one of my favorite things to watch right now is the Housewives, the Real Housewives of whatever. And right now I'm on the Beverly Hills franchise and they argue all the time. And I was like, I can never be in community with people where I'm constantly bickering. It's First of all, I'm not an arguer. I'm not getting ready to argue with you because I just don't do that. And secondly, it's just exhausting. It's mentally exhausting. It's so immature and it's a waste of time and energy. So making sure that you put yourself in places and spaces that can support you and cheer you on, and you can be honest with one another. I love that you sent her that quote. So, community. The next thing is your skincare routine. Oh my God, your skincare routine. As we age, things change. As we age, things begin to shift, and your skincare routine, and it starts from inside out. So definitely what you put in your body is going to come out on your skin, but your your daily skincare routine. I have a very simple skincare routine. I drink a lot of water. I don't smoke, but I want to make sure that whatever I'm putting on my skin, it is hydrating my skin. So I use a vitamin E oil on my face, my neck, my clavicle, and my hands, because those are places that show aging. So getting into a good skincare routine, having a good cleanser. The cleanser that I use, or an astringent, could be I like witch hazel. Witch hazel, it just, you think your skin is clean and then go ahead and put witch hazel. When I cut my hair, or, just in cleaning my skin. And I don't do that part every day, but I want to make sure that I do it at least once or twice a week. And also I put cold water on my face. I never wash my face with hot water. I always use cold water on my face. An esthetician in Oakland taught me that. A sister, she said, Tracie, make sure you wash your face in cold water. Don't wash your face in the shower with hot water. So I always stuck to that. And just making sure that you are constantly hydrating in the right ways and eating the foods that support that. So getting a good skincare routine. The next thing that I learned is purpose-driven work. Purpose-driven work. I think my life's work really speaks to that, because everything that I do is around women and our health and wellness and business. And so I'm always making sure that I'm doing something that is purpose-driven, not only for me, but for others. How can others benefit by being in community? How can I give value? Basically, it's really that. How can I give value? How can I give value to you? And this is where listening comes in for me a lot of the times. I'm just listening to what women have to say, because that's where I learn. And that's where I learn how I can be of support and value. So in my work, it is really centered around building women businesses up and how to put structures and systems in place that will pay you short and long term. And so that they are creating assets. So when I shifted out of the health and wellness space and moved solely into just business strategy and development, it was really about my love for business structure and also my love for seeing women win. And so my purpose-driven work, having Purpose-driven work, and not to where it exhausts you or you're becoming depleted by pouring yourself so much into other people and your cup is not being sustained, but also, creating something that, like I just said to you guys a few minutes ago, I'm not working that hard. I'm not working that hard. If you are not picking up what I'm putting down, then we're not in alignment. And so making sure the work that you are doing is in alignment with where you are and where you want to go and grow. And I'm a huge stickler when it comes to that, and developing really solid work boundaries, because it's when those boundaries get blurred that you become burnout and depleted. And to avoid burnout, you have to have strong boundaries. So if you find yourself in a place and space of earning money and it's not fulfilling you, then you might want to rethink how you generate dollars, because generating dollars does not come from hard work. It comes from smart work. It really does. It comes from smart work. It comes from being in alignment. It comes from strategy. And it's not about constantly doing something in order to be compensated. That's why I say that TikTok method of going live every day, just showing up and, buy this for me. But it's like, that shit is not sustainable. So I'm honestly curious what y'all gonna do when this shit go away. So anyway, that's how my brain works. The next thing I have learned is travel. Travel, see the world. I am in two fantasy places. I play a game with people that I love, and I'll say, where did you wake up today? And so right now I'm waking up in Vietnam. Like, I have been down this Vietnam rabbit hole. And so I text my kids this morning and I said, okay, where did you guys wake up today? And my oldest, Kayla, she knew exactly what that meant. So I said, I'll go first. I woke up in Vietnam. And then she followed right behind me with where she woke up. And then Mahogany followed right behind her. And she mentioned a place off the coast of Spain, some island that I had never heard of. And so I looked it up myself. And so we, started talking about that. But where did you wake up today? And this is part of my strategy for manifesting and for daydreaming and making sure that you are calling in the life that you want. So where did you wake up today? Getting in the world of travel, knowing that you don't have to have a lot of money to do so, but the importance of seeing the world. I've been to 7 countries, and to me that's so not enough. It's not enough. But in my time in each of those countries, I've taken something away. And I want to continue to grow more. It gives us the opportunity to, be immersed in new cultures. I love immersive learning. Like, I love immersive learning. When I tell you I love immersive learning, you learn so much about language and traditions and history and culture and food and textiles and topography. You just learn so much about traveling and from traveling. And traveling to me is just the best form of education, because you have to manage your finances while you're traveling. You are being exposed to all of the different things that I just mentioned. It just teaches you so much. And if you can gift yourself as much as you can, as often as you can, as early as you can, with the gift of travel, it is going to gift you for the rest of your life. So go see the world and stop waiting. Stop waiting for whatever time you may feel is going to be the right time, because in all truth, there is never going to be the right time. You have to create it. You have to create the right time. Grounding in spirituality. Your girl is a tree hugger. I am a tree hugger. You heard me mention before that when I feel out of sorts, I know I need to ground. Getting in nature is my love language. Food used to be my love language, and it kind of still is somewhat, but really for myself, grounding is my love language. Getting in nature is my love language. Seeing trees is my love language. The rain is my love language. So doing things that you need to do to fulfill your spirit and tapping into spirituality. I am not religious, I'm very spiritual. I think religion for me has been one of the great dividers of mankind, period, of humankind. Period. It is one of the great dividers. And every religion, unfortunately, has something against women. So, that automatically is the stark opposite of what I stand for. But getting in touch with yourself, with soul, with your spirit, and having that connection with universe, creator, God, quantum physics, whatever you want to say, but getting in communication with God and creator and tapping into that side of spirituality and being in connection with your ancestors and all of the healing modalities that come along with that, and being open, honestly, to other types of spirituality or that other communities have. Because what I noticed, especially with brown people, is that we're a lot aligned when it comes to that. So spirituality for me, and this is a part of my slow morning, this is a part of me tapping into lighting my ancestor altar, the candle that's on there, doing any kind of cleansing that I need to do in my home. I believe my home is sacred, and I don't let everybody come into my house. I just don't. I don't even have a welcome mat at my door, because everybody ain't welcome, and I'm not calling in nothing. I don't need to be here. So really taking an assessment of your environment, but it has to speak to you spiritually. So making sure that you tap into what that means for you. So getting in tune spiritually will, and how do you do that? How do you do that? Oftentimes it's silence. Going back to the top of what I said in the very beginning, tapping into being silent. And me and Honey were talking one day, and we were talking about just like individual travel, because we're married, but we can take individual trips. And I said to myself, my first individual trip would be a silent retreat. I really want to do a silent retreat. And I'll probably start off with like a 3-day silent retreat and then work my way up. But I want to do it because I understand the value of download. And it means like you disconnect from the world. You don't have your phone, you have journals, and you move in silence, and there's no external communication outside of yourself. So tapping into that side is really meaningful to me. And I think that was it. I know I gave y'all more than 10. I think it was probably like 11 or 12. But so those are my life lessons that I have taken with me or have cultivated over the last almost 50 years, y'all. Almost 50 years. I cannot believe it. If you guys want to be a part of the conversation tomorrow, that's happening, I'm gonna put the link back in the chat. It is the leader luncheon that is happening tomorrow. It is for women in business. You are open to come in. It is a free virtual event that I am hosting, and I can't wait to meet the women who are joining us in conversation. Tonight is a short night. I really wanted just to share with you what I have learned, and I'm still learning. And I want to be the first, or you want to hear it out of my mouth, the first time probably hearing me say it out loud in this space, is I don't know everything. And I think the more I age, I understand the less I know. Yeah, the silent retreat does sound amazing. There's actually one here I want to say, okay, it's here in Mexico. I can't remember, but I looked it up. Anyway, but the less I know, and being open to knowing less, and being okay with being a lifetime student, or I'm a student of life, and understand the importance of giving value back. Like, that's important to me. I know I'm going to be here a long time, and I'm grateful to still have my mama. I mean, I have my parents, but I have my mama, really, and having the loves that I have. So I really just operate in gratitude. So anyway, I don't want to get off track. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Tonight is a short night on this Friday Night Live, and I hope that some of my life lessons you can take with you, especially the slow mornings, the saver method, understanding financial literacy and how you can just continue to grow and benefit from that. Getting tuned in and tapped into your spiritual side and self is going to be key. If you want to get in community with me, all of my links are in the description. If you want to join us tomorrow, please feel free to put your name on that list, because we're going to have a really great time. It is only going to be for about an hour, but I'm excited to see who steps in the room. Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight on this Friday Night Live, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.